We're doing another rant today with our buddy Grant. Grant is a notable drummer from the DFW area. Some of the notable bands that he's done have included Combat, Torture Tomb, and what are some of the more recent projects that you're working on?
Mathacronus, which is like a progressive doom band.
Nice.
That's who we played with.
Okay.
Last Friday. We gotta book a show together, by the way.
Yes.
That'd be so much fun.
100%.
Because it's me, Colton, who's the old bass player. Do you remember Colton?
Yes.
It's me, him, and then two 50-year-old dudes who have been best friends since 18-year-olds.
Sounds amazing to me.
Oh, dude, it's the coolest combination of. It's like being in a band with your dad. You know, but in the best possible way.
Yeah, in a cool way.
Yeah, your dad that shreds guitar.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But you're doing that, and then I'm doing some studio work for Brandon's project.
Okay.
The Gallows too.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, anyway, he's a busy man of many talents, and we are here tonight, and we're going to talk about one of our favorite collective bands, Rush. So we're going to do top 5 Rush songs. So Grant, we'll let you start off because you're a big Rush fan, right?
Oh, die hard.
Like, do you remember like the first Rush song that you heard?
Ooh, my dad was playing Moving Pictures.
Okay.
In the car from when I was
like tiny little kid.
Really young.
Okay.
But I feel like a good segue would be. Have you ever heard the song "Witch Hunt" from Moving Pictures?
Yes.
It's the very atmospheric minor sounding with all the percussion and all the church bells and all the background dialogue and everything.
Uh-huh.
I think that, for a lot of people, Black Sabbath was the first time they had heard that impending doom.
Right.
And they were like, metal, maybe that's interesting.
Yeah.
For me, it was that song.
Okay. Yeah.
I never heard the and you hear that gong drum creeping up in the back.
Yeah.
It's just this sense of dread and everything, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
And that's on the same album with YYZ.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom Sawyer and all these other great songs, but that was the one that I remember. That was the one. Because it scared me.
Yeah. Yeah, see? It leaves a strong impression. So knock it out. Give us your top 5 in whatever order you want.
Okay. Yeah, in no order, because I'm not going to put one above the other.
Okay.
But I'm going to start with Off Power Windows, Middletown Dreams.
Okay.
And when you want to talk about 80s and pop sensibilities, and Rush were never strangers to adopting the fashion.
Yeah.
But it always ended up sounding like Rush.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I know a lot of diehards that kind of hate the synthesizer and metal and stuff, and the same people who hate like Seventh Son from Maiden and all that. And I understand that, but man, some of the chords on Middletown Dreams and Neil Peart's lyrics are, it's transcendent for me.
Well, they were clearly too good to ever do anything bad.
Oh, whatever they tried at.
Anything they did was amazing because they were just like top tier bands.
Except for Presto, I didn't quite.
But I do kind of sort of agree. I wasn't as big a fan when they leaned hard into the synthesizers.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it was still great.
You had to be there to. I can't really comprehend what it would have been like to go from the previous album to synthesizers.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, looking back now that I can listen to Signals and all these other great Rush albums, but that I can't imagine without synthesizer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's it's not that it's bad, but it's just
exactly
to hear one of your favorite power trios become a little less powerful.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yep.
Okay.
Moving into the digital age.
Yeah. But good choice. Solid. Okay. And what else you got?
Let's see. You gotta put Tom Sawyer in there.
Sawyer.
Even though I bet those guys are tired of playing that song. I know Neil isn't tired of it because I know he said it was always the hardest song for him to play because of how intricate it was.
Right.
But
I didn't know that though, that he said that about Tom.
Neil said that was the hardest song for him to play.
Crazy.
And it's because they didn't have that jazz mentality.
Fucking hard songs on drums.
And also, from a production standpoint, when they were recording it, apparently Neil didn't use a metronome when he was doing it, which made it 1,000 times more difficult, you know,
right.
Because there's that section where it goes there's that crazy drum thing going on, there was no click track to him. So what he was saying this in one Canadian interview where he was saying things I had to learn it with the click and then remove it, you know. So and that kind of gives that very fluid nature of the song where it's pushing back and forth. So amazing, difficult, obviously, So
I would say a good motif for that entire thing is getting up in front of a crowd and giving a speech, and you can either read the teleprompter,
right,
or you can just
or wing it at
Yeah,
that point.
wing it.
Yeah.
exactly.
And neither, I guess you could say, is better than the other, but when you don't stick to the script, there's more discretion for the lightning in a bottle. You
Sure.
know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
You
Well,
can
and-
catch that thing and you're just like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
Like you talk to any guitar player and they'll play
Yeah.
something and be like, oh man, that's cool. And they're like, I have no idea what I just
Yeah.
played.
Oh, dude, that fucking happens all the time
Oh,
during
and to
practice.
catch that on a record
Yeah.
It's like,
is perfect.
we will constantly be having practice, and then like Alex and John will just like go off on a tangent. I'm like, dude, play that again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because that's
I'm like,
actually
"Fuck."
that's my favorite thing, honestly, of playing music in general. Because sometimes your mind kind of like wanders
Yeah.
to something, and then you play something which is like out of the blue. And that Victor Wooten actually said this amazing thing where he was like, if I keep playing the right notes, people would not notice it. If you play like a wrong note, immediately people are like, oh yeah, there's something going on there. You know?
Right.
So that's how you kind of keep yourself
Something poked
interested.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
That's my-
so let's keep it going. What else you got?
Tom
besides
Sawyer.
Tom
Okay, let's
Sawyer?
see. Free Will.
Oh, okay.
The lyrics are amazing for that song.
Yeah. It's a great song.
part of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel like right now. It's
Uh-huh.
like okay, like I will choose free will. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's a very
And that chord change they implement
Yeah,
right after the
Yeah.
I guess the second chorus.
yeah.
They start going into that
Bridge.
jam.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Name me one band nowadays that just goes off into a jam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
nobody.
yeah.
70s psychedelic. Yeah, just hit record and go.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You know what
from
I
the
mean?
beginning, like no one was doing what Rush was doing.
Oh no,
So.
nobody's doing it now.
Yeah.
If
and
they
no,
are, they're
and,
just
and no one
imitating.
will. It's
No.
like just
Exactly.
a league
Exactly.
of their own.
It's
so.
it's in that. It's at the right place, right time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right combination of people.
But yeah, I do love that song too.
Oh man. Okay, so that's
So we have-
3.
Yes.
Let's go on to
Three
number
or
4.
I think
That's 3.
That's, okay, cool.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's tough, I know.
I'm gonna have to
It's
do
tough, yeah.
the entire suite of 2112.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
I knew you would say that.
Yeah.
It's got to be there. It's
Yeah.
especially nowadays with all the bureaucratic. Without getting too deep into it,
No,
Yeah.
Go for it.
everything is very. To base an entire record on 1984,
Right.
and
Mhm.
what 1970?
Yeah, some 77, something like that.
70s, yeah, I think it's 77.
That was
And
before
also-
1984 actually even happened.
Oh, yeah.
And also,
And we're 40 years in the future, and
Yeah.
the lyrics and everything are still
Yeah.
as relevant.
Yeah, exactly. And also, the reason why they even did 2112 is because the previous album, what was that, Caress of Steel?
Yeah.
It didn't do so well. You
Yep.
know?
Right.
And the record company was pushing them, and then they were like, you know what?
Let's get
this
more
is
radical.
It's a big fuck you to you. Like, yeah, let's just
Yeah.
get even more like radical and
Mhm.
see what happens. And then that one of the most prominent
Yep.
Rush albums out there. So
Let alone, that's got to be the pinnacle of concept albums.
yeah,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much,
I don't
pretty
know what
much.
else you would
Yeah.
measure
Yeah,
especially at the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could give a couple 40 years later that could maybe stand up to that, but
Like maybe if you listen to
Maybe
like
Pink
Animals,
Floyd?
if
Yeah.
you listen to Animals or something, okay, concept album great. But then the difference where Rush kind of shines is where they push the envelope with the technical things as
Yep.
well. Like
Yeah.
they create all these crazy moods and stuff like that. So which Pink Floyd does, yes, but then there is
It's just
more
very different.
it's
It's
very
very
different,
different.
So Rush is more heavy.
yeah,
so that's
for
the-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lean into more of the Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, exactly. So you said entire suite of 2112.
Oh, the
Yeah,
entire
okay.
suite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the part with where they find the relic acoustic,
Oh
In
yeah,
the
yeah,
cave.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
and they bring it, and then they just get completely
Yeah.
smited down because
Yeah.
culture stands in the way of.
Right.
I was listening to that acoustic song and Lifeson, like he tunes the guitar,
Yeah.
right?
On record, he
even
plays the guitar on
even
record.
even tuning, yeah,
I would never even
Just
think of that.
Yeah.
simply tuning the guitar also, like it's a dead note, like it's a very
Uh-huh.
and even if him tuning sounds musical to me for some reason,
Exactly.
I was like how
Yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah.
So that's 4. And what's one more?
Getting more and more.
I had a
difficult.
list, but
Yeah.
screw it.
yeah, yeah, just go with your heart. Close it.
Close-
to
yeah,
the
that's it,
heart.
there you go.
That's definitely a good one, but
Yeah.
it's got to be Xanadu, man.
Xanadu,
Xanadu's got to be
yeah,
number
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's got to be number one because that
Xanadu.
encompasses
Oh.
everything we've talked about.
Right.
It's an entire concept album in
Yeah.
a song.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's just amazing, like
Lyrics,
the-
drums,
Yeah.
guitar, phrasing,
Mhm.
all of it.
Yeah.
And it's all coming from 3 people.
I know. That's what blows my mind. It's like you listen to it.
Yeah.
And it, it
And
sounds
I've
like
read a
it
bunch
could
of
be like 10 people.
the studio diaries when they were talking about, oh, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. And they were talking about eventually they got to the point of moving pictures where Neil would double track his drums
Yeah.
on a couple
Which
parts.
is
And
fucking nuts,
I've
dude.
never heard of that.
No.
Yeah, right. Like, how in the world is that even possible? Like, you have to be like exactly like you have to play exactly the same thing. Like, if you play like an accent, it has to sound that.
But the
you know,
seeds
so-
for Xanadu were definitely sown in 2112.
Right.
And then Xanadu just blew the doors wide open.
Yeah.
I still watch that live video.
Oh,
of,
yeah, yeah.
Exit Stage Left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
Tour.
favorite. Yeah, because
So good.
just looking at like the double necks and everything, and I'm like,
Not one screw up either.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And it's all
Yeah.
free flow time, and
Yeah.
they start all their delays are perfectly in time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything.
And meanwhole, Geddy's playing with his.
I know.
foot. I'm like,
Yeah.
Are you guys even
This
human?
guy, he's
man.
singing, playing bass, and doing keys.
Yep.
It's like, dude, fuck
All
off.
in one.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's your fight.
In everybody's sense, any bass player that starts playing with the Taurus pedals, it's automatic. Oh, you're Geddy Lee.
right.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an iconic thing now. So yeah, that's pretty true.
Well, that's a great list, Grant. Krishna, what about you, man?
Okay. Well, I was going to say Xanadu, but like you.
No,
almost told
it's
me.
all right. There's
But-
because
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
can't
tell you
have
right
any
now.
overlap now.
There's some overlap with me.
There is,
so,
there is no
That's
overlap.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But no, I'm gonna change it up a little bit.
Okay.
You're gonna hate me for this, but then Red Sector A from
Yeah?
from the.
It's my favorite, one of my favorite Rush albums, top 3.
Yeah,
Grace Under Pressure.
Yeah. So like several months back, like he and I, we had this argument at my old place where he was like, "I hate that album," but like I'll give you the reason why.
Me?
No, him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Red Sector A, like that is kind of my favorite from the whole album is because Geddy sings about like Holocaust, you know. So and then just the chord choices and then like the way Lifeson plays those like open strings and everything, like that is amazing to me. And yeah, Red Sector A would be one, and the other one would probably be Subdivisions from what is that? Signals?
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, from
I
Signals.
had either
Yes.
pick Tom Sawyer or Subdivisions.
I
and
mean,
I'm like,
yeah, but yeah, Subdivisions is kind of where I'm at emotionally right now. It's more like looking at things which are like just like a copy of a copy of a copy, you
Yep.
know.
Right.
And then just the story behind Subdivisions
drive out
is
to Fort
amazing.
Worth.
Right.
Yeah,
That's exactly what
Yeah.
you'll see.
and my third has to be Red Bar Shutter.
Red Barchetta.
Because-
Yeah.
because
I was just listening to that this morning.
Nice.
actually.
Harmonics.
Especially the harmonics, and then the reason why it's my
a whole
favorite.
riff
It's a
in
whole
harmonics.
Yeah, exactly. And Neil Peart, like he said that it's 1984, but like a mini version. Because you know they
Oh,
kind
cool.
of condensed that whole story of revolting against
Finding
the
the
man.
old,
yeah.
the old world relic.
Yeah, because exactly like here the relic is the car,
Yep.
the Red Barchetta. So and the reason why it's my personal favorite is because I have like very vivid memories of me like in my hometown. It's on a it's a coastal city, my hometown. So my favorite thing to do was just like drive the car on the beach road and listen to the song. So whenever I would be in a little bit of an emotional moment or something, like I would do that, and that's why Red Barchetta is that the third one.
Third.
Yeah.
Yep.
And fourth one has got to be. Damn it, this is getting difficult.
I know. Yeah.
Fourth one.
I was gonna-
Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder?
That's my,
Yeah.
that's my favorite. Yeah,
That's a good
because
one.
they never played it live. I think right. They only played it live like what 2 or 3 times. I guess.
And I think it was recently.
It was recently,
before
yeah.
they
yeah.
called it quits.
And it's just insanely, technical. Or you know what? Actually, the that spot is kind of shared by Jacob's Ladder or La Via Straniata.
Yeah.
Either of these two things.
Oh
because
man, that would have been a good one to pick.
yeah, because I mean, a lot of people gave shit to like Hemispheres that whole album because.
I really like
I love
Hemispheres.
Hemispheres. Yeah, it's really cool. But like people just give them
Perfect.
shit. But especially
The
La Via
Trees is
Straniata.
awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my last pick has to. This might sound very weird, but Garden from
Garden.
from
Okay.
Clockwork Angels.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that was their last song of the last album.
Right.
And whenever I see the live version of that song, I'm like, this is too much. This is too emotional for me right now.
Yeah.
Because that is Rush when they found their entire sound. Like there's an orchestra in the back.
Yeah.
Like there's beautiful open chords. There's nice vocals. There's good drums, pianos, everything. So like that's and even Clockwork Angels kind of got a little bit of shit, like a backlash from fans. But there are few great songs from that album,
Oh,
like
dude.
Wreckers and Headlong Flight.
Wreckers is my
Yeah.
favorite song on that album.
Oh,
that
yes.
chorus is
Yeah.
it hits that Middletown
It
Dreams.
does, yeah. It's almost like you can
Right in the
imagine.
heart.
You can imagine yourself like being on a ship, like sailing
Yes,
away. You know, like
exactly. That's what I
it's
thought
the
of
most
every single
beautiful-
time.
Yeah, so those are my 5 Rush songs.
Right
and,
on.
and to think that two people could listen to the same thing,
Yeah,
and come to that same
Exactly.
conclusion.
I mean,
Yeah.
blows my mind. So
as a band, what
yeah.
more could you ask?
I know. Yeah. So my pick is not in any particular order, but my number one favorite Rush song I'll start with is YYZ.
Oh yeah.
Or YYZ for you fucking nerds.
Hey, I say Zed.
Yeah.
Do they in India?
Yeah, they
This
do.
is Ed?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I just love it so much. It's so fucking good, and the fact that it's all instrumental,
Yeah.
and it is just like such a great song.
Yeah.
Oh,
That like even
No
though
vocals
like
required.
Getty has iconic
Yeah.
vocals, is
Yeah.
you don't even miss the vocals.
No,
That's how
exactly.
good it is.
See, this kind of comes back to the point that we were talking about earlier. Is that like, is it going to stick in your mind like ta da ta ta ta?
Yeah.
Like that's instantly you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
know this song. You know?
Yeah.
So that's how you do instrumentals right.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Perfect.
at,
Well, exactly. I mean, it's like a perfect instrumental.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my favorite.
I'm looking at you, Polyphia.
Right. And then going back, kind of an obvious choice, but Working Man.
Working
That
Man,
was
yes.
the first Rush song I heard.
I was about to say
And
that.
the guitar tone on that is
Yeah.
one of the greatest
Yeah.
distortions
Yeah.
ever.
It's
And
got that
apparently-
roomy sound.
Yeah.
It's not that direct.
Yeah.
It's got that.
But it's just so heavy
Uh-huh.
and warm and
It's like the
full.
first Sabbath album.
Yeah.
It's got that same
It do-
guitar.
Yeah, but
texture.
But
to
you
it.
know, it's like people don't normally associate a Rush with being like super
Uh-huh.
heavy,
Mhm.
but that is
It
that
really
is
is.
so heavy, and that riff that they come back
Uh-huh.
to at the
Yeah.
end of the song
Yeah.
is it just hits so hard, and
Do you
I
know,
love
do you know
that
the
about
you know the
that.
story behind Working Man?
Like about it getting released or like the writing of it.
Just both, you know. So like.
I know the story about it like getting released and then like catching on in like Cleveland radio.
Yeah, exactly,
And people
yeah.
were requesting it.
They
even
thought it
though-
was Led Zeppelin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
People calling it, hey, what's that new
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
song and stuff like that.
And I mean, even till this day, I guess.
But it's
like,
significantly heavier than any Led Zeppelin
Oh,
song.
for sure.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at Detroit, even till this day, it's like a very industrial town. You know?
Yeah.
And then people are like working class people, and then when they heard that song, they were like, I kind of resonate with this, you know. So
Yep.
that's why it kind of hit that right spot with that song.
Yeah.
And of course, the tone, it kind of reminds me of Budgie, like that tone and
Right.
the whole recording process kind of reminds me of like old school Budgie and like. Yeah, and also apparently the song is the most favorite song to play live for Geddy Lee. That's what he said in like some interview.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
The first song is his favorite song.
Yeah,
That's
like,
funny.
And Neil Peart is not even there on that,
No.
so
Yeah,
like.
yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, it's
and then
working out, yeah.
my next pick would be Overture from 2112.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's got like it's like Overture,
Yeah.
Temple of Syrinx,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I forget the other parts. So it's kind of a cheap, but it's one track when you play it on the album.
Yeah.
And
no Rush fan can.
it's great.
Can't skip that.
Yeah.
To me, 2112 is their masterpiece.
Oh, for sure.
And
would
it's
agree.
just pure greatness.
Yep.
It's like just that piece alone, the overture with the other parts to it, that's a full album in and of itself.
Oh, yeah,
There's so
easily.
many ideas. There's so much going on,
Yeah.
but it's still so catchy and memorable.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
But see how Rush was so progressive with their thinking that they knew that people will be like freaked out because of a concept album, all that shit. So side A was all concept. Side B is like songs like Passage to Bangkok, like
Yeah.
because,
Lessons.
because they knew that okay, we're fighting the record company, but then we're also gonna do what the record company says by
Yeah.
doing this, So
Get a little bit of both
it's
in there.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a
I'm gonna throw an honorable mention.
Yeah.
For By Tor and the Snow Dog.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good
That-
one. So I'm going to do my fourth and fifth pick are kind of in tandem because they highlight the two aspects that I love about Rush. And one is the progressive, like how musically accomplished they are. But the other is that they never lose sight on writing actual songs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's always been kind of my knock on other like progressive bands like Dream Theater. Sorry for fans that love Dream Theater, but my knock against them has always been like they're so focused on writing 10-minute epics and stuff like that.
On Dream Theater? Okay, yeah. I mean,
that
that's,
they don't
for sure.
ever really kind of like scale it back and just present a song.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everything is like a technical exercise, which, don't get me wrong, they're amazing musicians and all that, but my willingness to listen to it is pretty limited.
Yeah.
And they did that with Images and Words, you know,
Yeah.
like that was one of their albums, which I mean, when I think of Dream Theater, it's like that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like nothing in the, maybe like, you know, Metropolis Part 2, whatever it is, but then like Images and Words was, you know, they had those short songs, even complicated. Like if you look at something like Under the Glass Moon, it's super complicated, you know. Still, it's catchy. It's like, you know, hitting that balance. So anyway, this turned out to be.
So the two for me that kind of bookend each other are Closer to the Heart, which is like a 3 minute and 30 second, like pretty straight ahead song, but it's just got a very super catchy melody
It's a
that
timeless
just
riff.
sticks in your head for weeks,
absolutely.
Timeless.
and it's just got tremendous vocals and lyrics like all of their stuff. And then La Via Strangiato.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a clinic.
They said they spent more time writing that song than the rest of the album.
I can imagine, because like I
Yeah.
said, it's like listening to it. It's like a classical composition.
It's like Xanadu.
What is your favorite section from that song?
Oh man, I can't even, like, it's hard for me because I like the transitions.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I always
Flawless.
pay a lot of attention to how a band will go from this riff or this section into the next one. Is it just abrupt, or did they give you a lead in or whatever? And somehow Rush kind of combines it where they'll bring something out of left field, but it still fits.
Yeah, exactly.
And that to me is just like so difficult to pull off. And you know, I'm always super impressed when they do. So those two, it's kind of like the straight ahead song that you can hear on the radio, and then the deep cut that you want to listen to with your headphones are just a perfect summation to me of Rush. So
especially the spacey solo that Alex Lifeson does. It's just
that solo might be the high part.
One of the ones,
The best part. Oh yeah, you go first.
I'm sorry. I was just saying that, like, for me, the favorite part of the song is like dun 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 dun, like that groovy jam. That's my hands down favorite moment. You know.
The best thing about Rush is that they took every trend and somehow fit that square peg in a round hole in the progressive genre before it was ever what we knew it as.
Like, for example, if you listen to Spirit of Radio, right?
Yeah.
They experimented with like reggae and all those things because reggae was, you know, huge at the time.
Yeah,
right?
the Police.
So,
everything.
something like that. So you know, it's amazing, really. So go ahead.
And it never came off as a cliche or anything like
No,
that.
because they were always doing their thing.
It was always in context.
Yeah, it was just their doing. You know, Rush was just they were Rush.
Yep.
They weren't following anybody else. They might pull in like different elements and you know, add in like electronics and stuff like that, and change their look. You know, from when they started out and all that kind of stuff. But it was still always them doing it. You know, it wasn't like, oh, they're chasing a trend or they're doing something to obviously
or
get
the
more.
down,
you know,
breathing down their necks to wear
like
more
whatever.
leather
It's
or
like
shit.
clearly you're not crafting like 8-minute progressive epics with the idea of selling out arenas. You're just doing it because you like to do it.
Exactly.
You know? So anyway, that's our little bit for this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. Listen to Grant's music and listen to Rush.
And listen to Krishna's music.
There you go.
And Craig's music.
Right.
You're listening to Warlord Radio Podcast. Please hit like and subscribe at the bottom.